we're going to record. Let's see, wait for it to go red. Okay, and we're recording.
All right, so to get everybody caught up, since we already started talking about stuff before we even hit record, because that's what we're good at, we're referencing some Annie stuff, and then the upcoming Fire Walk with Me event that's going to be out here in Seattle at the Salish Lodge, which is, it's not in Seattle, it's actually like 30 minutes east of Seattle, but it's fairly easy to get to. If you remember the outside, like the opening scenes of Twin Peaks, it is like that lodge with the waterfall. That's where we're talking about. Anyhow, to my point. So the new Twisters. Okay, so they just published this, like, their Annie like rule set, right? Because I think Annie's like kind of like it will be one of the new big things, and this is like one of the episodes we can talk about. But
the new hotness.
It's the new hotness. It's the Pogs of the summer of 2022, and the
shout out to Evil Mailman every time we get Pogs.
I actually played with my Stormseeker Pog with the trolls this weekend, and people were like, "Are you shitting me?" And I was like, "No, dude, they're fantastic for like marking all sorts of stuff." But theirs is like, so their Annie format is, I think it's out, like, I'll just pull it up, but I think it's alpha through alliances, and they're using EC rules, but they're not banning or restricting Annie cards. And I believe, I haven't seen them say they're restricting Mana Crypt, Demonic Consultation, or the other one that you should probably do. So the point is, anyhow, is that that's probably a fairly broke format that Justin wants to play. And I was talking with him about why you should why certain cards in other Annie formats are restricted, right? So like Dark Pact, right? By the time this episode comes out, we'll probably be done with the Annie League that I'm running, but we did a ban, like a no ban, no restricted Annie League with just regular EC like playsets, so through Fallen Empires. And DFB made a deck that was 4 Dark Pacts, 4 Dark Rituals, and a bunch of basics. Because if you don't know what Dark Pact does, it's like he lost. He went 0-6, and I think right now has won the most Annie cards without winning a single game. Because he would just mulligan to a Dark Pact. And then Dark Pact you. So like he would steal your Annie card and be like, "Cool, you get a fucking swamp off the top." Like it was like a very like interesting way of winning without actually winning. So I was trying to talk to, I was like, "Hey, I'm like, there's a reason these cards are restricted in certain formats. Like even like the Annie 40K guys restrict Dark Pact, and I think they have one other restriction." I was like, you should take a look at that. He's like, "Nope." I was like, "Okay." It's gonna get degenerative real fast. Like,
what do we call that strategy? Thinking outside the deck, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's he sent me a photo of it, and I'll post a photo of it. It is a work of art. And I didn't, and like I'm just playing like some bullshit ATOG deck, and I like couldn't understand what he was doing because he was like mulligan, okay, keep, and then we go swamp, and then Dark Pact would be like, okay, what else are you doing? He's like, that's it, that's the game. I was like, okay, I got it. So he was just winning cards without winning cards.
That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty smart. Like I think Mario, also known as Merhans on Discord, he has a 6-0 record right now. I still have to play Cam and one other person. I think my deck's pretty strong. Mario kept his deck together. I'm gonna play him last. I haven't seen what his deck is, but I think he's probably playing like a 4 balance, 4 like rack deck. Like there's some broken things you can do, but like honestly, if you look at when I put out all the deck lists, you'll like even though I was like, hey, you can do whatever you want, like fucking fuck it, 4 balances, and balances are like $1 card, so you can absolutely play them. People were like not doing that, which is kind of like a more interesting social aspect of it. Like people weren't going for the throat.
A small tournament of kind of, the people that are really into the social aspect of the game. You know what I mean? If you were to open it up like Darby's or something, then it's going to be just like,
yeah, I mean, there's like 11 of us, and I think we all know each other either in person or have played extensively online. Anyhow, let's talk. Now we're done talking about Annie. We'll do an Annie episode at some point.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I'm going to build, but to get back to the point, I'm going to build one of, like, so their restriction is they want it to be, what's up?
Twisters. We're talking about twisters now, right?
We're talking about twisters. Like any restriction that they want to use is 2,000 pesos, which is about $100.
That's why somebody was talking about 2,000 pesos, because it came up in my notifications on the phone. I'm like, that's interesting, and then I forgot to check what that was about.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, like, so it's like you're not playing like all 4th edition, but I don't know. I'll probably end up building something for that. I think the mana gets better because you don't have to necessarily play duels unless you want to, because you can use the homeland or whatever the pain lands are. I forget what they're called.
It's Ice Age Painlands.
Yeah. So I think some of the mana gets a little bit easier to play 2 colors, but also like.
What set are the original fetch lands in? Is that Alliances?
No, the original tap fetches are Mirage.
What's Mirage? Okay.
They like the fetch land comes in taps. It's kind of weird.
But you don't lose that life.
I don't think you lose the life, and I don't think anybody even uses those things. So
I think the EDH dudes use it as budget fetches. I think EDH uses it.
No, dude, fetch lands have gotten so cheap. I have one 5-color deck in EDH because Mox Emerald Scott plays Commander.
Yeah.
So like I have like 3 decks right now, and I bought one of each fetch and one of each shockland, and I think all of it together cost me like $200. The shocks got super cheap because they've had like 3 reprints like recently.
I don't know how long ago, but I did look to see how much Flooded Strands were for middle school, and I remember
if you want Onslaught ones, they're expensive. If you want cons fetches, they're like $20.
I was actually, for me, like, I was going cons. I think that when I was in Germany, I almost bought like some beat up World Championship ones off of Card Market, but then I think I decided not to because they were kind of expensive too.
I'm gonna get the WC ones. Let me see. Let's just go to TCG Play real quick. I think Onslaught fetch lands are pretty cheap.
Are they still available like anywhere?
There's a card shop here in town that has a bunch of gold border stuff that I'm gonna buy off of them probably. So that's kind of the plan. A cons fetch is like $33 right now, and then a Onslaught fetch is $53.
Yeah, so basically I've decided not to get those for middle school. So
I mean, I think I sold the rest of mine. Otherwise I'd just like send you some. Let's see what the gold border ones cost.
Yeah.
The gold border ones are like $25 a piece. For like the Gabriel Nassif 2004 one.
Sure.
And I don't know. I kind of like those better because they're signed by, like, they have that like printed signature on them. So
what I like is that I like that there's a couple of sets that are only legal in our weird formats. Like CEIE is basically only legal in old school here in the US, right? North America. And then I like that, I guess you can use the World Championship ones of the right art, I guess, in old school, but not really, nobody does that. But it's super, super common in middle school and what's the bigger one?
Pre-modern.
Pre-modern. And so I like that they're specific to our niche little things. It's like the pre-modern set, or it's the old school set. So I kind of like that.
The World Championship decks are in my opinion, the equivalent of CEIE for pre-modern / middle school because what is it? I think the majority of the fetch lands have a gold border reprint. Survival of the Fittest, which is a big card for that format, is a gold border, and you need 4 of them. The only thing I think that they don't have gold border that would be nice is like Mox Diamonds, but those are reserve lists, so I don't think that they're gonna do that.
Yeah, they even have gold border cradles.
Yeah. And so that's what people are buying is stuff like that. I mean, the guys out here like playing pre-modern, and so I have like a green blue madness deck that's real bad, and then I have a black, like a dead guy ale deck that's also pretty terrible. Mm-hmm. So I need to I don't know. I need to maybe sit down and figure out a real deck for that format, but I
started playing during this time. I started at the end of Tempest right before Stronghold came out. And as a new player during this time, like the first cards that, local players gave me were the, portal cards or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did buy these World Championship decks. And so I had the Survival Recurring one and I had the White Meanie one. And then I ended up, I guess before middle school got popular, just for nostalgia, I bought a sealed Survival Recurring deck, which I've sleeved. So I have that.
You could probably just play that. Just like straight, just like pull, like unsleeve it, put it back in the World Champ. That's what I like. I have a World Championship deck somewhere, and I have the box for it still. Hold on, which one do I have?
Yeah, I have the box somewhere.
I have the World Championship Seattle, August 1997 Janoschik Kuhn deck. I don't even know how to fucking say his name. Doesn't matter. It's like a red, white, blue deck.
Oh, is that the one with the Frenetic Efreet?
Yes. And it has Force of Wills in it, which is not pre-modern legal, which it should be, but that's a different story.
Well, that's what middle school is for. I have a pre-modern deck and I have a couple of middle school decks, and the middle school has Force of Will.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can't like really talk about it too much because I only played like maybe a handful of games, but I think that the middle school is a better format because it has Force of Will. I don't know. It's just my thoughts.
Like, well, the other one doesn't have Force of Will,
but it has Necro and it has Dark Ritual, but it doesn't have Necro.
Yeah, well, yeah, pre-modern doesn't have Dark Ritual, but I think it has Necro, and that's
you're right. That's what it is. It's Ritual, not Necro. I don't
want to play with Necro, but I want to play with Dark Ritual, and it pisses me off. I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to play Suicide Black without Necro, the Hatred version.
You just play Phyrexian Arena. I mean, you're only drawing one card instead of 7 or whatever, but
no, the Hatred. The pay X life.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Creature gets +X+2. But anyway, so that's enough of our rants on that. Do you want to talk about the cube, the color red?
Yeah, let's talk about the color red, which is probably my favorite color. I'm gonna resubmit my picture.
That's mine. Yeah.
Because I like switched out some cards, and I still have like a card on its way here.
Okay.
Let's take a look. So we got okay, let's just skip over the basic stuff we have. Everybody's got Fork, Lightning Bolt, Curd Ape, Shatter. Like, everybody's got those cards. That's not what we're talking about.
All right.
The spicy stuff. You have an Alibaba in yours, right?
Yeah, I got Alibaba. I've got a Keldon Warlord. I think not everybody has Keldon.
No. And what's the card to the left of Keldon?
Disharmony.
What's that one? Oh, that's a good. You should talk about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, Disharmony's sick. So it is. I think it's 3 mana. It's a red and 2. I think it's an instant from Legend. So it's always Legend spoiler season. That's kind of always the thing.
Oh my god, fucking Legend.
So actually, I found it in front of me. So instant red and 2. Target attacking creature comes under your control untapped. Return to former controller at end of turn. This creature is no longer considered to have attacked. Play before defense is chosen. So it's a sick combat tricks, like, a combat trick, eat one of their dudes and maybe sack it to Diamond Valley or something.
Yeah, I like the combat tricks in like limited formats. I think they have like a lot of value to them. And you're playing multiples, so you have 2 bolts, 2 brass claw orcs.
And I think those are my multiples.
I think that's your multiples. I'm playing all singles, not pictured in mine. I'll message you the picture or whatever, but Jason Hathaway is mailing me a Rook egg that has his stamp on it. And I am so excited to get that fucker in the mail. It looks so hot. I'm gonna send it to you on Discord real quick.
Yeah. Or can you send it in this meeting chat?
Maybe. Let me see if I know how to do that.
It's a thought bubble that's a second from the left, show conversation. And then there's a little message thing. And then
thought bubble to the left.
Okay, all the way to the top, like that menu thing.
Oh, yeah. Show conversation. Okay. Now we're living the dream.
Here we go. I kind of live on Teams for work, so.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Is it gonna let me send it? No. Okay, hold on. We're gonna just save the picture this time. Save image. Sure. Oh, that's because it's trying to save it. Okay, let's see what happens here. That's not it. That's not it. All right, fuck this. I'll show you later.
Or how about this, dude? You want to just share your screen?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Do you know how to do it?
No, I'm gonna figure it out here real quick.
Dude,
share content.
Yeah, you found it?
I think we got this.
We are podcast professionals.
We're so good at this.
I know, right? It's almost like we're just two random old schoolers sharing what we love, and you too can do the same thing. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped to get that bad boy in the mail. So I'm gonna wait and retake my. I think it'll be here sooner rather than later. I might just put this picture to the side or whatever, but I'm excited to get that bad boy in the mail.
So that's actually the Arabian Nights dark version. I don't know if the dark or the light one's rare, but that's one of the dark ones. I don't see those too often.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's like, I know people like when they collect. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Hopefully, I know when people collect, like whenever they collect an Arabian Nights set, they always look for a light and a dark version, because like Stone Throwing Devils apparently has two versions as well. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been told. I have one, but I mean, I don't know if it's a light or the dark, but I'm excited to get that bad boy in the mail.
So it's easy to tell, dude, if you look at the casting cost, if you look at the generic mana, if it's dark as shit like that Rook Egg is, that's dark. But if it looks like a normal Magic card, air quotes here, then it's light.
Okay. I'll have to take a look at some of those. I don't think I have that many Arabian cards to begin with, but and then my Legend spoiler cards, Hyperion Blacksmith, pretty exciting. Ooh. Target artifact controlled by opponent becomes tapped or untapped. It's like a relic barrier, but for your opponent's shit only. I don't know. It's also 1 and 2 red, so it's terribly hard to cast. And then you have this card as well, I think. Eternal Flame. And it's 2 and 2 red. Eternal Flame does an amount of damage to your opponents equal to the number of mountains you control, but also half that amount of damage to you rounding up. So it's a really just real terrible way of like fireballing somebody, I guess.
Yeah.
And it makes you have to play like straight red, because I can't imagine paying 4 mana to deal 3 damage. But
yeah, it doesn't
could be wrong.
Good card. It seems like maybe we should think about cutting that one.
I'm not cutting it because I found one that Shane's Cards is like a local card shop here, and I'm like, do you have an Eternal Flame? And they have like racks on racks of just cards, and they're like, yep. And I was like, oh cool, it's signed by Mark Poole. I'm like, it's staying in. I'm not getting rid of it. If I'm gonna get rid of cards out of this thing, it'll be like, I don't know, probably like Goblin Flotilla. The artwork's cool, but
sure. Let's see. I'm rocking a Sisters of the Flame alt 4th version that I like a lot. I like having another. It's a mana dork.
You have a Sisters of the. Okay, yeah, I'm not playing that. I'm playing. You have a Brothers of Fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, playing that as well.
Like when it comes to red, if you look at the casting cost, there's a shit ton of double red.
Yeah, it really like makes you
isn't terrible, and something that produces red for all these double red, and then there's like fire breathing and Shivan and all of that. I figured it's not the worst.
So, and this we'll get into this later when we talk our lands, but I don't know what you're doing for your cube, but my cube I have double of each dual land plus 4 City of Brasses as like the mana fixing, and it's I mean you've played it. You can play 3 colors in this. In my cube and get away with it.
For me, but I'm definitely adding at least 4 strips in there. But yeah, about the same for me.
I don't know if I'm gonna do 4 strips or not. I got the 1 in there right now, but we'll see.
I guess my thinking is that there's a decent chance there's 4 players, right, for this cube.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I want everyone to at least have a shot at a strip mine, or some lucky bastard have 4 and just wreck somebody.
So what I think Eric Fletcher, I'm probably just misquoting who's told me this. One of the guys, he's like, it's an old school cube. He's like, I feel like everybody should have a Chaos Orb. So instead of having like 8 Chaos Orbs in the draft, he just gives everybody a Chaos Orb to start with. Like that's your first card you start. I thought strip mines is probably something you could do that with. Like I think Mark, you might have enough strip mines to give everybody one just to go.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have those strip mines. I've given a bunch away, and I tried to count how many I had recently.
Are you still over 100?
No, not that many, but I guaranteed I probably didn't find all of them because I have cards floating around, and I'm sure that there's strip mines in some random decks or something. I think I have like 88 or 89 still, and I did give a bunch away. So
I found one in when I was looking for. I found a Shaman Ben one when I was looking for the cards that you sent me.
Oh,
and so I took that and put it in the cube. I was like, all right. I had some like random ass strip mine in there. I was like, oh, switch these out.
Oh, sick. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then basics. So what I did was I went and bought a bunch of like 40 count of like 4th edition and revised basics. But I also have guys sending me basics that they're altering. Which is like another reason to be a part of an annual league is the majority of cards you get are basic lands or jeweled birds.
Yeah.
So I just take out generic ass lands and put those in. So like most of the lands in the cube will be altered in some way.
Oh, that's sick.
It's pretty nice.
Back before anyone cared about alt fourth, I bought a bunch of alt fourth basics at like 30 cents each or something. Some jerk bought out Star City Games of all of their alt fourth because somebody found out that it's limited run or whatever. But apparently, past Mark bought a bunch of lands of everything except for islands. So Mark doesn't like blue. So I realized that I have like 2 unlimited islands. That's all of the islands I own. So
I know that.
I have to get some islands now. But luckily, I have a whole mess of alt fourth, and then I have like foreign black border, and then I have about like a bunch of unlimited, and a couple of. When it comes to planes, I have some betas and some alphas and stuff. So that's going to be my how my basics look like. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing for islands. Probably just regular 4th edition, but yeah, I don't know.
I might be able to send you home with some. I don't know how many. I have quite a few. I don't even know why. I bought 40, but then I also found like a bunch I had just laying around. So good times. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Like red is pretty straightforward. Like there's not a whole lot going on here that you wouldn't normally just see, right?
I got 3 cards in front of me. Let me ask you if you have them in maybe proxy form or actual form or whatever. First one, Mountain Yeti.
Yes, I have a real one, a real quote unquote. I think it's like a Chronicles version. Yes, I think Mountain Yeti outside of cube is also very good in 1.5.
Okay. What about two-headed giant of force or foresight?
Four E's? I don't know how to say it. I can't say words. I have one on the way. It's not here yet. I got a CE one because those things are apparently reserve list for some reason.
Yeah, I grabbed a CE one also. It has like really cool, weird art, and I just noticed that this dude's like bib or whatever has like an iron cross on it.
Yes. The artwork is good, but there's no reason for it to be so expensive.
Yeah, like yeah, I guess.
What does like an unlimited one cost? Because let's be honest, that's what most people would buy anyhow.
Yeah, there's no 4th edition one of this one, is there? No revised either.
It's just two-headed. Oh, come on. It's $50. Oh, that's because it's a rare. That's why.
Ah, gotcha.
$50 on TCG. So anyhow, the CE ones are like half that price, and we're like $25.
All right. What about Rock Hydra?
Oh yeah, have to have it. I think I would consider that one part of like the classic, like has to be in the deck.
Yeah. All right, and then the one I wasn't at all, I guess, at least sure about, Yidwin Efreet.
I don't have one. I almost got a proxy, but what I'm going to do is replace that with a multicolored card.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That was one of the ones where I was like, I wasn't really like super excited about it. I couldn't remember why. Let me look it up again.
So it's a 3/6 for 3 red, and if you choose to block with it, you flip a coin. Opponent heads or tails, and then if the opponent wins, then basically Yidwin can't block. But if you're not going to block with the dude, just a 3/6 for 3 red. If you're kind of mono, cube, it could be hard.
I mean, you have to be mono because it's well, you don't have to be mono, but it's triple red, so it's like
you need your
fairly hard to cast.
Hey,
it's $152 on TCG right now. I was like,
I bought it before it was that much.
Yeah. It's not like it's because it's a coin flip card, and like I guess that's like a thing in Commander, and it's probably also reserve list for all I know. But I replaced that with one of the one of Micah's Raging Rivers, one of the cards from what the fuck is the name of that set? The whatever set that didn't get released that he made, like he did all the artwork for. Spectral Chaos. There we go. Yeah. So like certain cards that were expensive. One of the
biggest things is that you have Spectral Chaos in your cube, and I'm going more traditional old school. So we're definitely going to have,
It definitely will play different. When we played this cube originally, right? Like the mana is so good that I was like, I can just throw in these like high mana cost like multicolored cards because there's enough dual lands in here to support it.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't super excited about getting that card. So that's one of the ones I pulled out. Like that.
No worries.
Drop a Honey, I think out of the green section. I pulled like maybe 12 cards where I was like, I don't want to pay for these, and they don't do anything that I would want to do in the cube.
I mean, Drop a Honey, it's if you have a deck with fatties. So like I think Drop a Honey would be okay, like if you have Singleton or something. And I bought Yidwin for Singleton decks. I wanted the Singleton red deck. And it's great. It's awesome in Singleton, right?
Agreed.
And then my cube, it's kind of like I wanted to have maybe iconic cards that you can't really play usually. So I want to, mine's a little bit more nostalgia-y than pure performance, like I want to, because there's some cool shit out there that like, or like Force Field, like normal old school decks, you never see Force Field. But it's a sick card. I want to play with it,
Yeah, I would consider buying a Force Field. Well, first off, Drop a Honey is like $700. Let's see. I would consider buying a Force Field. I think that might actually be an underplayed card. I'm being honest. And there's a CE version, which is 165.
There you go.
It's not bad. Plus the artwork's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. It has the same background as I think Jet. I don't think it quite. Some people say that.
I thought they said they lined up, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But do you have like a Warp World in here? Is that what the
Storm
left? Oh, Storm World. That dude, that's a spicy one. I don't have that in mind.
I just put it in here honestly because it's from Shaman Bin.
Okay.
And it's also like one of these, I guess, iconic cards because it's one of these enchant worlds.
Yes.
But it's one of those things. If I'm thinking about like what the card does, just play wise, I wouldn't put it in here. But it's cool. It's iconic. It's unique. I have a sweet edition, and man, I'd love to be able to just play it once or twice. I'm never going to put this in a real deck. So, and by real deck, even my decks, I'm going to air quote here, real deck. Anyone who's played against me has seen my decks. When I say real deck, that is not everyone else's definition of a real deck. It is 60-ish cards with somewhat of a ratio of lands and things you can cast. Kind of. That's my.
Not enough. There will not be enough lands. Stormworld is. I think what's interesting or people forget about Enchant Worlds is you can only have one of them in play, right? So if your opponent plays an Abyss, like you could for 1 red mana basically be like, get fucked Abyss. You know what I mean? Green's got one too, but it's like play with hands revealed or something like that. No. Concordant Crossroads.
Yeah, Crossroads. That's it's like Global Haste. That's a green one. It's blue one that's a hands revealed, and it has like a Japanese mask kind of thing on it. I forgot what it is. Billy.
I can't remember.
When he was using Millstone, it was like this. It's like an old school version of the modern Lantern control deck kind of thing. It was a really annoying control deck with no win cons. And it was very, very milly. Yeah. So
those are cool.
Is it hands revealed or is it the top of the deck is revealed?
It's the blue one I think is top of the deck. The green one, there's a green one that's like Revelation. I want to say is what it's called.
Is there another one?
I'm so good at these. We're so good at Magic cards. There's only 900 of them.
We never claimed to be good at Magic or know all of the cards.
Is it Revelations? Hold on.
Enthusiasm is the only thing that we can promise.
Yeah, we're going to Google. 1 green enchant world.
Did you search for Concordant Crossroads?
No, I was trying.
I kind of making fun like a Siri moment.
I got to go to. I'm literally in Scryfall because Google wasn't going to help me out here. Colors green at most these colors.
Maybe just search for all the enchant worlds. There can't be many of them.
That's what I'm doing, and I just got to remember how to like search for it in the thing, because it's like the enchant world. Let's see if that brings back anything.
Does that work?
Nope. We'll just run green and just search for those results.
Just search for all the green.
I know what, because I know what the art. I know what the artwork.
Just let all of the listeners choose to look it up or not look it up.
No. We're just everybody sit in silence and we're waiting for this thing to go through. There's only 20 pages I have to run through here. Well, and as soon as I see the artwork, I know what the card is. Also, another underplay card, Desert Twister, by the way. No, there's some. I mean, like Scryfall. Let's talk about Scryfall while I use it to search for cards poorly. Like, not even in a good fashion, searching for cards. Scryfall, like, is really cool to like come up with like singleton decks because there's so many Legends cards you have no idea what they do, and you're like, oh, you can do that.
Yep.
All right, not those. Oh, Life Force, that's a good card. If in ante, whenever you're playing against people who want to play black, like are going to play black or at least splash black to play a contract, Life Force, it puts you heavy in green, but man, it just sits on the board and you for 2 green get to tell people to get fucked.
All right, I got it. So I'm gonna share my screen with you, Eric, and then I got a list of all the world enchantments. We're gonna go over it.
Okay, go for them. Right, I don't know. I know one of them, 2 of them.
Arborea. We got Arborea for 2 green and 2.
It is Revelation. I was right. Anyhow, continue.
All right. That's a Mirage one. Skip that one. We got Caverns of Despair, red, 2 red and 2. We got Concordant Crossroads, and I'm only doing the pure old school ones, not like the Vision.
Not Visions.
Field of Dreams, top of the card. The library space up. That's a blue one. Red, Gravity Sphere. Eye of Chaos, blue one.
Super expensive card. Tried to buy one of those ones.
Man's Edge, Living Plane. There's another old school green one. Of course, another Void.
Of course.
There we go. Revelation.
There it is. Revelation.
All players play with the cards in their hand face up on the table. Green one. It's got the stained art, stained glass, kind of religious-y art.
So I almost put 3 of these in my sideboard of Earn 'em Burn 'em because it is a 1 green deal with the Abyss.
Yeah, I guess you can also.
Your other option is Tranquility.
I wonder, this could be a decent card. Would you want to play this in a deck that's like a Berserk style deck?
That's what I'm saying. Like Earn 'em Burn 'em 3. Like I play heavy Berserk, like 3 Berserks.
Oh, okay. Well, that way you know that if they have a Swords or a Bolt or, you know what I mean, if the coast is clear.
Yeah, so the idea originally came up whenever you were playing Glasses of Urza in like every fucking deck. I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. Like if you're trying to play, if you're playing a deck where you need to accumulate, like where you need to push 1 attack through, then knowing your opponent's hand to see if they have the swords or the counter, it's probably not the worst 61st card to throw in. I'm just saying. But I'm not playing it in this. I'm not playing it in March.
I always had designs on building like a green-blue like Winter Orb deck. You had maybe like the elf that untaps land and put a instill energy on him. You know, maybe put a wall growth on that land. You know, some stupid shit like that. And then you have power sinks. So Winter Orb is out. You can have a Relic Barrier, and if you see their hand, you know exactly what the power sink. You can completely tap them down. And I was just thinking kind of dumb stuff like that.
I'm in line with that. That's just the color requirements suck on that thing. Because you got to play Trops, green, blue.
I mean, you got Birds of Paradise too, and even if you have an Instill Energy on a Birds of Paradise, it's 2 mana of whatever color you want every turn. And
Good point.
And then if you have the elf dude that was it Leyline or Ley Elf or something, that dude, he can untap Mishra's Factories and they can start pumping each other and stuff.
Interesting.
At that point, you can get Candelabras too, you know, if you want to proxy. But
yeah, I think Candelabra is like people messing around with like those big mana decks, and I don't know. I'm probably just not smart enough to play them. And you can also play stuff like Natural Selection. Look at it's like a green fucking Brainstorm. Rearrange 3 cards top of your deck, or shuffle the entire deck. Terrible.
Well, I guess I mean, if you have that if you really need to find cards, and you have that along with like a Sylvan Library land tax engine, you know, because you need that shuffle effect, right? If you have the Sylvan Library, so that is another shuffle effect.
But the land tax gives you the shuffle.
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard to get land tax online. I would love like having a Zuran Orb to be able to, you know, to always.
Oh yeah.
That'd be like Zuran Orb. I think would be the most broken addition to Old School.
That's what. Yeah, it's in Scryings. I think. I don't think we've ever played like Old School plus Scryings, but it's in Scryings. I'm pretty sure.
I just think like land tax, Sylvan Library, and then Armageddon with Zuran Orb. That's too much.
Probably correct. Okay. Are we done talking about Cube stuff? I feel like we're done.
Good, yeah.
I think we're good on Cube. Okay. Yeah. What do you? I mean, I'm playing Earn 'em Burn 'em for March. Do you know what you're gonna do yet?
I don't even know if I'm going, but.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Well, but if I'm going, because I basically have 2 decks right now. If I'm going, it's either going to be black-red rack deck, or it's going to be a budget. Guess what? 5-color Armageddon. So what it does is it's using land tax, and I have basics in there. So basically, my sideboard is all color hosers, so it's like
gloom and shit.
Well, no, I'm playing white, but it's yeah, it should like well, there's like four Ether Flux, and there's like 3 Falling Star and Earthquake and shit. So I have a mountain main and a mountain side and an island main, and then I have like a Birds of Paradise, and then I have City of Brass, and I'm basically using that to activate land tax to get these like, you know, funny color stuff. So basically, out of the sideboard, you know, it looks like a green-white Armageddon deck, but all of a sudden, I could be packing 4 of all kinds of hosers out of the side, from Blood Moon to Energy Flux to I don't know, some, you know, random color hoser out of, I don't know, black or whatever, you know. So
here's my question to you: is 3 Blood Moons in the sideboard too many Blood Moons for this event? Should I play, or is it not enough? Should I be playing a 4th Blood Moon? I need to know so I can order it now.
Well, the thing is that I have no clue on Blood Moons, like the correct number. I am the last person in the world to tell you. No idea.
Are you going to play?
Never gotten a handle on like the right number and the right time to play Blood Moon.
Are you going to play 5 Strip Mines and just hope nobody catches you?
Well, that's the other thing. So, in the future, I will show up with Oops All Strip Mines to an event where I intend not to play and get myself disqualified. And
I think what would happen is that they'd be like, no, you can just keep playing. Because then
I'd be happy with that.
I think people would they'd be like, oh, I'm just going to mulligan to like a Mox or whatever and be fine.
Yeah, I mean, they may not know for a while, because like game 1 when I played you, I mulliganed to like 5 or 4 or something to really kind of, you know, let that go for a while. Yeah.
It went more than 3 turns. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I think if you showed up with that, people would just let you play.
I think I want to play, so I might bring a deck that's not Oops All Strip Mines.
Okay. Have you looked at what you're gonna play on Friday night if you do show up?
No idea.
Okay. I'm gonna play red white ATOG, because the red white, like the Vanguard card for it, gives a creature Shroud and Indestructible. And I'm gonna try and basically just infect people out of the game.
Wow. Okay.
Because you can still sack the. I was talking with DFB about this. You can still sack the artifacts to the ATOG.
Yeah.
After it has Shroud, because it doesn't target the creature.
No, it's just the creature's ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that they use Shroud, not Hexproof.
Yeah, I mean, Shroud's like the more fair version of Hexproof, in my opinion. Like Hexproof is the problem. We're almost done, hun. So that's I mean, like outside, like Hexproof is fine. I mean, it makes more sense. The problem with it is like Hexproof makes more sense for people who have never played Magic before, right? Like they're like, oh, you just can't deal with you can't do stuff to my creatures, but I can still put stuff on them. Whereas Shroud is probably the better mechanic because it is equal amongst both parties.
Well, I think the big problem is berserking this ATOG, and you can't swords it.
Oh, I'm not even going to play Berserk. I'm just going to play Red.
I'm just saying, like you can't have that card be hexproof in that format, because if one player can berserk it, but the other player can't swords it, that's going to be a problem.
But you could it's the Vanguard cards restrict you to the colors that they're in. So the Vanguard card I'm going to play is red white. So you couldn't splash green for Berserk, right? But even then you could, let's say you could berserk it and then give it Shroud, right? And the effect would still be good.
Yeah, very true.
But we'll see. But that's what I'm going to play since I've been playing ATOG in the Annie League. I'm just going to literally pull out the contracts and the jeweled birds and just replace them with something else.
Yeah, that's cool.
But that's about it, dude.
All right.
Good talk, everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Next color, blue, green. Wait, did we already do green? No, we've just done white and red.
Yeah, white, red. No, I'm weak on blue right now. How about black?
Yeah, let's do black.
Black. No.
I think I only need to buy one black card.
Okay. What do you need?
Like an oubliette, I want to say. Hold on, let me double check. Oh, I don't. I'll have to tell you later. I don't have my flash drive plugged in.
Let me know. I think I have a spare oubliette.
I'll message you because I think that's literally like the last black card I need, and I'm not sure why those are expensive, but apparently they are.
It's Pauper, but they were.
Oh, people play that format?
They were like $40, right? But it just got reprinted in a new set, and so it came down a lot. But they're probably still like $10. But yeah, the reason is.
If they're $10, I'm just gonna buy one. But yeah.
Well, you'd have to look it up, but I literally think I have a spare, like almost almost guaranteed, of Arabian Nights. So.
Ooh. Now I'm just gonna look up and see how much they are.
Yeah.
Oh, one card I forgot to mention. I'm buying a Firestorm Phoenix, another Legends card that nobody knows anything. Yeah. Dude, I think it's kind of cool. It's like a unique mechanic.
$6. It's like $6 6 mana to recur like this 2/2, and then you have to wait 2 turns.
3/2. It's a 3/2, dude. It's a 3/2. It's got terrible artwork that I really like. I'm gonna buy this as soon as we're off the phone.
Sweet.
Anyhow, that's the last card. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right, buddy.
Good chatting. Thanks everyone who were bearing with us. Next color is black. Yeah, I guess hit us up. Twitter is This Old Deck. Show us the pictures of your cube, your colors. Give us some suggestions. We're gonna have in the show notes because we know how to do this now. We're gonna have
learned show notes. Yeah,
we did. And then so we're gonna have pictures of our red cards. Feel free. Razz us, make fun of our choices, show us give us some options. So yeah, it'd be super cool.
Yep. And then I think also we'll talk some more Annie stuff at some point because we're just wrapping up, and maybe we'll have Cam on because I think he did terrible, so we can talk about how terrible he did.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. All right, dude.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. Somehow hang this up on me.